Hello, and welcome to the GRACE podcast series. My name is Denise Brock, and I am the Operations Director for the Global Resource for Advancing Cancer Education, or GRACE. In this podcast series, we interview patients, advocates, and healthcare professionals to provide the most updated information for our community and to highlight important issues facing those dealing with a cancer diagnosis. We hope you find this information valuable. For questions or comments, please visit us at cancergrace.org.
What's unique about this CAR T, as I talked about earlier, it's a one-time treatment, okay? Again, if it works, the cell is living in the patient's body. Not only does it kill the lymphoma, but if the lymphoma tries to come back, there's a memory to the lymphoma, much like an infection, where if it tries to rear its ugly head again, the cells will wake up and kill it, okay? And with this approach, in patients where we really had no really effective therapies to give, we can cure, again, depending on the study you look at, anywhere between 30 and 50%. So now we can take a bunch of patients where we used to have no really good options other than clinical trials or supportive care and offer them a one-time treatment with a curative approach, okay? And that's what CAR T-cell therapy is. So there are three CAR Ts that are currently approved for administration to patients with relapsed diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. One's called Yescarta, the other is called Kymriah, and then the newest one is called Breyanzi. They all target the same target, CD19. They have slight differences in how they're made, and but they all roughly have similar efficacy and slightly similar toxicity profiles, slightly different depending on the product, okay? And just because our therapy continues to change, again, remember I told you that this therapy was approved for patients where they failed 2 lines of therapy or a transplant didn't work. The FDA just approved Yescarta for patients where the frontline therapy R-CHOP, where it didn't work at all or your disease came back within a year of frontline therapy. We used to take patients like that to stem cell transplant, knowing that the stem cell transplant doesn't work that great. We now have a study that shows that CAR T-cell therapy for that indication is better. So we are offering quite a bit more CAR T-cell therapies. So I think to summarize what this therapy is, it's approved for patients with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma where frontline or stem cell transplant therapy is ineffective. It is a therapy that is collected from the patient. We collect the T-cells. We then manufacture the T-cells, which takes about 2 to 3 weeks from collection of the T-cells. We then take the T-cells and send them back to the medical center. The patient receives a few days of chemotherapy to settle down the immune system. We then administer the CAR T-cell product, just like a blood transfusion. And then the patient is in the hospital anywhere from a week to longer, depending on the toxicity that they experience, which can be anywhere from mild fevers, cytokine release syndrome, to more severe cytokine release syndrome requiring blood pressure medications in the ICU. And the other big side effect is the neurotoxicity, which can anywhere be from just being a little tired, confusion, to more severe side effects like seizures. Again, both these toxicities in a center that administers a lot of these therapies are completely treatable and reversible. And hopefully then the patient leaves the hospital done with therapy and hopefully for the last time, and it can provide durable responses and cures for these patients. I hope that was informative and you learned about CAR T-cell therapies. And again, feel free to reach out to me or your oncologist if you have any questions. Again, the need or treatment with these therapies is very individual, and there's specific criteria and indications, so it's not approved for all indications. So your oncologist would know, and please reach out to him or her to find that out. Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us. This podcast was made possible by the generosity of sponsorship from our friends at Lilly and Exelixis. Please like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Send us feedback, share your story, donate, and visit us for more information at cancergrace.org. Thank you for listening.